Hey, what's happening? It's Bryan with MOJO. I wanted to review something different, and seeing how our boys, Forged by Light and Jedi Phoenix, both into some Star Trek, and I've never really gotten into it other than the original series, which I did enjoy. I am not able to watch the Next Generation, whatever. I've tried to watch it a few times, just can't get into it. It is what it is. But I did kind of like the first J.J. Abrams movie.
What?
Second one's not the best. I like the third one.
What?
I know it wasn't a J.J. movie. Maybe that had something to do with it. I did like the third one. The new ones. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Star Trek, the motion picture. So Star Trek 1 through 6. I'm going to rank those. I'm not really going to rank them as much as I'm going to give you my take on them, like kind of like I guess a ranking system, but not really. More of a what did I give them? What did I rate them? How's that? Rating. This is a rating. Aha. So Star Trek 1, Star Trek the motion picture is how do I say this? Dog shit.
What's your profanity?
It's terrible. It could have been half as long and still been just as bad.
That is one big pile of shit.
It's just bad. Like, there are only a few good lines in it. It's long. It drags.
That's what she said.
The villain, spoilers, is an old satellite, like an old satellite from NASA that went to space and never came back, and somehow grew a conscience.
What?
Conscience.
What?
Became aware.
Okay.
So, and then it didn't hear back from anybody, so it decided to kill the Earth, or try to, until the dad from Seventh Heaven,
when I see their happy faces smiling back at me,
decided to be with it.
You're not sleeping with it, are you, Ray? Oh, you.
It's always the quiet ones.
You hound.
I don't know. Weird. Moving on. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. It almost feels like a reboot. Like, yeah, we have this movie over here. And yeah, it happened, but we don't talk about it. It's kind of like how Superman Returns was supposed to be like after Superman 2. Like, they were just going to act like Superman 3 and 4, just like, hey, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Kind of like how they should do with the sequel trilogy for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyway, they start out similar to the way they start out in the first one. I liked it a lot more. Khan, when you just kind of see clips of him, it's kind of like, man, this guy was kicked out of his 80s hair metal band and he's just never gotten over it. But really, in the movie, seeing his story, you kind of get, where he's a little bit pissed off, but also kind of has like a power trip. So Khan and his people are marooned on a planet. The planet is like pretty much destroyed without being destroyed. There's a scientific expedition that has a kind of like a world builder experimental bomb type thing. They shoot it onto a planet chemical, like some type of chain reaction happens to where life starts to be created, and then boom, your planet has life and it's inhabitable now. It's a cool theory. Come to find out, the lead scientist, is an old fuck buddy of Admiral Kirk, sorry, and her son is also his son. Spoilers. Kirk finds that out in this movie. Khan trying to take the weapon. They end up shooting it onto the planet that he was marooned on, I guess. It creates life, kills Khan. Enterprise escapes, but the ship was hit and radiation leak was so bad that Spock sacrificed himself to save the entire crew. Sad moment. Spock's dead. They shoot his ass out of a torpedo tube onto the planet, which is being revived. And they go home. They're like, yeah, that sucks. Peace out, dog. And at the end, you kind of see that Spock's probably alive.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. I did notice this one. I didn't look at the first two, but this one I did see was directed by Leonard Nimoy. That's pretty cool. So, obviously this one is The Search for Spock.
Well, obviously.
So somehow there's a life reading. Kirk's son, I guess, sees that there's a life reading on the planet that they just kind of terraformed. Sends back to Starfleet. Starfleet's like, oh well, it's kind of off limits right now. Meanwhile, Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown, is cosplaying as a Klingon. Anytime I see Christopher Lloyd, it's just Doc Brown. Christopher Lloyd is Christopher Lloyd unless he's in Taxi, and that's different. That's like young Doc Brown on drugs. But anyway, so Klingons are pissed. They want the world builder thing. I'm not sure what it's called. I can't remember. Kirk wants to go find Spock. Starfleet says, my boy. So Kirk just goes. Kirk and the entire fleet of the Enterprise are like, nah, our homies out there. So they steal the Enterprise. They go out to this planet that they just came from. They get attacked by the Klingons. Christopher Lloyd, yeah. They get attacked by Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd was already there. He gets the son and Kirstie Alley's character from the second movie. She didn't reprise her role. Not sure why. Either way, Kirstie Alley. Drunk Jedi. Anyway. Kirstie Alley's replacement and Kirk Jr. are on the planet looking for Spock. They find the capsule, no Spock. Then they find Spock. He's like a child. He's growing. He's going through his puberty stages. He's awkward and in a lot of pain. Doing whatever he needs to do. The Klingons find them. The Klingons are talking to Kirk like, hey, you need to surrender. I'm going to start killing people. They go to kill Kirstie Alley's replacement. Kirk Jr., being Kirk Jr., tries to save her, gets shanked.
Gotcha, bitch.
And then Kirk gets extremely upset because the son that he just found out about was just murdered. and ruined his whole day. So, you Klingon bastards, you killed my son.
Klingon bastard, you killed my son. Oh. Klingon bastard, you killed my son.
That was like the best line of the movie. It was a good line. I liked the movie, by the way. They kill the boy. Kirk comes down, kills Christopher Lloyd. And then I don't remember. Somehow it gets off the planet. Either way. Then the Klingons wanted the damn weapon that was used to make the planet. They already made the planet. There was the only weapon. So it was like, you dumbass.
I'm a dumbass.
There is no weapon. We used it. Well, they wanted the plans. Well, they didn't get the plans. They got died. Anywho, so the Enterprise is destroyed. So the Klingons are also, these Klingons are destroyed. The Enterprise crew just ganks the Klingon bird of prey, and they go back to Vulcan with Spock because they did find him. Spoilers. And they have to do some type of like memory ritual, blah blah blah, to try and get Spock's soul back into Spock's body, because apparently somehow Spock mind melded with Dr. McCoy, not Hank McCoy. That's Beast. Anyways, Dr. McCoy, he's my favorite. So he had to like exercise the Spock and put it back into Spock. So, yeah. 2 and 3 are great. I really like 2 and 3. Now we get to 4. 4 picks up right where 3 left off. The crew's still on Vulcan. They're like, well, I guess we better go back to Starfleet and face the ramifications of stealing the Enterprise, having it destroyed, and then half-assed attempting to start a war with the Klingons. Whoops. So they start to head back to Earth, to Starfleet. Spock decides to join along. Kirstie Alley's replacement says, I'm going to stay here. I don't want to be in trouble. I'm going to stay on Vulcan. I'm going to live long, and I'm going to prosper. En route, they realize that there is some kind of spherical probe type thing flying towards Earth, emitting some frequency that honestly kind of sounds like a whale song. Just saying. And then you find out later it's a whale song. But it sounds different because it's not in the water, but it still kind of has that same whale song vibe. Earth's pretty much being destroyed. The angry probe thing, it's kind of reminiscent of the first movie, but makes a little bit more sense. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, I liked it more. I liked it more than the first one just because I don't know why. Like, it had it flowed better. The movie was better. So I accepted it. So they find out on the Enterprise that it's a whale song, and that there's it's technically a blue whale, I think. Humpback whale, blue whale, humpback. It's a whale, one of those whales. A big one.
That's a huge bitch.
Big whale. So Enterprise decides they're going to time travel and go back in time because whales are extinct in the 23rd century. So that's probably why this thing's mad, because there's no response to its song. So they Superman that shit and fly backwards around the sun and somehow do like a Beavis and Butthead Do America acid trip or peyote trip in the desert where they're starting to taste colors and see sounds, and boom, they're back in like 1987, which is amazing. If I could do that, I'd do that right now. And the crew is still in the bird of prey, by the way. So they cloak, so nobody sees them. Convenient. So they go to Earth. They go to San Francisco. They got George Takei. Is actually really funny. And he's like, San Francisco. I was born there. Like, it's just funny. I don't know. Anyway, they're in San Francisco. They meet up with the whale expert
I know there's no greater feeling.
who has a lady boner for Kirk, obviously, because, you know, every lady that meets Kirk gets a lady boner. It is inevitable. And she actually like takes him to dinner and whatnot, and you get to see Kirk drinking a Michelob. That's pretty cool. I mean, shorten this up as much as I can. They have the place where this lady works has two, a male and a female whale, the exact kind they need, and the female is pregnant. So it's like, oh my God, that's perfect. So they build an aquarium in the bird of prey. Scotty does. And they fill it with the seawater, and they beam the whales up onto the ship at the end and slingshot their ass right back around the sun, right back to the very point in time that they were before, even though Spock is adamant that it is not an exact science, and he is not sure that he can do it. To which McCoy tells him to guess, and he is quite perplexed by that. And the lady, straight up, what's that called? Where she like jumps on the ship. She does a little thing where she gets on, sneakaroos on, she sneaks aboard, but not really sneaks. She just kind of jumps onto Kirk as he's being beamed. And she goes with him back to the 23rd century, and they save the day. The probe is happy with the answer once it gets it, and it leaves, and everything is right in the world, literally. And so ends Star Trek 4. Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier. Oh yeah, they get the Enterprise back. Sorry, Enterprise is back at the end of 4. Enterprise, yay! Enterprise is not ready whatsoever, by the way, on this trip. Shit's falling apart, doors aren't opening. It's crazy. That's just, Spock has a brother. He's kind of a hippie, gypsy hippie asshole, really. I mean, he's kind of a douche. He's like that Tim Robbins of Vulcans. Tells you, you know, you're holding on to some pain and you shouldn't be, so let it go. And then miraculously you do, and bam, you're so overjoyed and so like free that you'll do anything he says. You'll follow him to wherever he tells you you should go. So he tells you to do what he needs you to do, and he thinks he's found heaven or God or Shangri-La or whatever the hell he calls it. Sharia blah, yeah. Rock the cat box. Rock the cat box.
I'm a dumbass.
But so they go past they go what is it? Like, they go beyond the reef.
No one goes beyond the reef.
I don't know. There's a section in space where it's like, yeah, it's kind of like we don't go past that. We don't know what's out there, so we just don't. Well, they go past it.
I may have gone a little ways past the reef.
And boom, there's a planet. And boom, there's this like godlike energy. It's like, hey, you brought a ship, right? And Kirk's like, wait, motherfucker, you don't. Why does God need a ship? And he zaps his ass, and Do you think Kirk's gonna die? Obviously, he's not. And Enterprise locks on. They kill the god energy with some photon torpedoes. I don't know what they're called on that. They shoot it with the Enterprise guns, and it's dead. And that's the end of it. Oh, and Spock's brother was there with it, like trying to release its pain after he figured out he was kind of a douche and decided to sacrifice himself. So Spock's brother did. Godlike creature also did. And they go back. All is well. Star Trek 6, the new country, something like that. I didn't understand the name of this one. Like, why is it the new country or I don't get it. Shouldn't it be like territory, planet, something? I mean, it's space, and the Klingons are dying. So that's what's going on in this one. The Klingon planet, or the Klingon moon, exploded, and they're estimated to only have about 50 years left of like sustainability on their planet, their actual planet, Kronos, I guess. So Starfleet's like, hey, you should go be an ambassador. Spock, kind of dropped your name and said you'd be a good fit. And Kirk's like, those Klingon bastards killed my son. And he don't want to do it. And he ends up doing it. And he's talking to himself in his quarters. And that old hoe bag from Sex and the City, probably the wrong term, but she was the really slutty one. Sex and the City. Also in Police Academy, mannequin. Kim Cattrall. Jerry Cantrell's sister. I don't know. Her. She's in it. She's a Vulcan. Spoilers. She's a traitor, which you kind of catch on to. I did in the beginning. 6 was not good. 6 was not great. I mean, it wasn't as bad as 1, but it wasn't great. But anyway, yeah, Lieutenant Vulcan is a traitor. She is working with one of the Klingon generals that is aboard the ambassador ship. I don't know how exactly it happens. Something happens. They fire on the ship. Kirk surrenders, even though he knows he didn't fire on him. It's a bunch of shit. It's stupid. Kirk and McCoy end up going to prison on a Klingon planet, and they escape, but they're being helped by somebody who's working for the Klingons who wanted them to escape so that they could just kill them. And then you find out at the end, spoilers, that one of the Starfleet generals, people that are in charge, whatever, who's kind of suspect in the beginning, is behind the whole thing. Doesn't want to have peace with the Klingons because maybe those Klingon bastards killed his son too, but who knows? Either way, he didn't want it. So in the end, Kirk's like, hey, maybe I was being a bit, prejudiced towards Klingons, even though a Klingon killed my son. Not all Klingons killed my son. So yeah, that was into that. And then it very specifically said that, everybody's retiring. Sulu's not even on the ship anymore. Sulu's got the Excelsior. He's the captain over there. Captain of the Excelsior. So, yeah. So that was like, you could tell that was like, everybody said, we're done, dude. No more of this shit. So they made one last one. 5, for sure, was directed by Shatner, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, if I had to rank them, I probably would rank them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1.
So you can run and tell that, homeboy.
probably in that order. I really liked 4. 4 was fun. It was just a fun movie. There was, I mean, no Enterprise except for the end, like very end, last few seconds of 4 Enterprise. But so, I mean, it was fun. It was fun. It was cool. I liked it. It was interesting to go outside of my comfort zone, watch something that I knew about but didn't know, like hadn't actually watched, didn't know the lore of. So, I mean, from my point of view, Star Trek is still the lesser of between Star Trek and Star Wars, but it's not bad. If you have, some free time and you want to watch something, give it a shot. But not the first one. That shit sucks. I hope you like what we're doing here at the channel. If you do, drop us a like, at least on this video, and then maybe watch some of our other videos. We've got lots, like 700, 750, something like that. Anyways, we have plenty to choose from. Several playlists. If it's your first time here, check them out. If you're, 45th time here, watch them again. You know that they're good. Don't lie. And yeah, subscribe. We want you. We want you here in our family.
We're looking for you.
Join the MOJO group. Lots of cool stuff coming up. I'm serious. I say that a lot, but there's a lot of really cool stuff about to come up. Don't believe me? Subscribe and stick around. Hit the bell for notifications. Share us. Also, go to Instagram. We've got a Linktree account. Got all kinds of stuff. All kinds of places to find us. All kinds of different crap, channels, things going on. Get in there. I mean, get in there. Get in there deep.
That's what she said. Don't you dare.
And on behalf of Jim and myself, thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully you come back. And until then, may the force be with you, and love you.
He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband. For real.
What?
Amazing!
That was awesome.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you later, alligator.